Go on about dealing with negative comments. God, you're a bunch of sad sack pussies, aren't you? You've come to the right place here. As a political commentator, my entire life is people tearing me to shreds. And let's just be honest, none of it, not one single comment ever, has been even remotely valid. As we all know, I'm perfect. Sign up to Jordan Shanks' Patreon and I'll teach you to be perfect as well. I really will. I will teach you things that will make your life so much better than it currently is. I know your life is a sack of crap. That's why you clicked on this, because you can't even handle criticism online. Oh, what are they writing about me? Well, rule number one, it's so basic and no one does it, but you have to train yourself to do it. Don't read comments. They don't actually influence anyone. If people thought that you suck, they just go, he thinks that I suck. Yep, okay, that. Then other people that say, oh God, this was very enlightening. They will go look down and then they'll see someone else going, thank you for shedding a light on this very pressing issue. Oh, I agree with that sentiment. That's how I think. Yay. That's all that's happening there. Think about it from your own perspective. How often have you ever read an internet comment and thought, this random picture of a teeny-faced Goku has really... that man is obviously extremely serious and I should be taking his opinion in such a light. It doesn't happen. How often? Sometimes the only thing that sometimes happens is I will read a comment on a celebrity that I think is basically universally loved, and then you see them getting shredded just as hard as you are, and then you think, oh, okay, well, sucks to be you, baby. Oh, that's right, I've got 700 videos filled with equal vitriol. Oh, well, I guess no one escapes to that. And let's be honest, if you are able to elicit a negative comment from someone, that means that they took time out, they hate you so much that they are taking time to write about how shit you are, meaning that they're coming back. What you want is that. You don't want people having zero engagement. If there are people, it's the next bit, and it actually comes from Kanye West, it's a whole energy. That's how you need to think about it. Isn't that kind of a bit creepy? The way that he just like with his smile on his face. Yeah, I put that Stars and Barbs flag up and really pissed off my audience. But he is right about it. He's definitely right about it. It just means that there's more engagement. The fact that people hate on you is engagement. Now, it's obviously better to have people that love you, but I do think that it is just almost an equal side of the coin. That if you have people that passionately love what you do, you will have people that equally passionately hate what you do. Now, these are the basics that set you aside. Number one is that you should never, ever focus on the comments, ever. Just don't even bother about them. The second one is just understand that all of it is just helping your algorithm until you become this giant god that is sitting there eating everybody's digital hardware and then pooping it out, and then an even bigger god, which is known as YouTube, is sitting below that as this, I suppose, suckerfish creature eating all the digital poop of all the internet gods. Why did it go downhill from there? It became very high up, like it was ancient Greece, and we were talking about Mount Olympus, and then all of a sudden, but underneath that is this David Attenborough stingray at the bottom of the Amazon that when it can't find any shrimp, just eats their shit. But the other thing that I want you to know about reading other people's comments, when it comes to negative comments, I know that it's all trite advice, but it does need to be reminded if you ever sit there. First off, you are going to have a terrible day if you read comments, even if they're positive. You know what else happens as well? Now I'm at this stage because I got over the usual year-long phrase of, oh my God, some people think I'm good. I must be way better than even I imagine myself. And I'm narcissistic enough to sit in front of a camera all day. And even I didn't even think I was that amazing. After that, your narcissism even gets bigger than that. You start thinking, well, you didn't compliment me in the very specific way that I wanted. There was a really good sound effect at 4:15 that you didn't notice. So you're just as bad as a hater, aren't you? You're banned. But the next point after that is that if you start thinking about comments and you start looking at the profiles of these people, this will instantly dissipate 80% of your hatred about it. 80% of it. Click on them. If they have any videos whatsoever, you will notice one thing and one thing only. They suck ass. It is always a picture of how they built a really tall building in Sim Tower or footage of their dog while they're giggling. Losers. The people that write negative comments online, like think about it, because you have to be in such a bad headspace to be sitting around looking at these images that are in front of you and then go, it pissed me off. Unstop. Can you imagine, like, put aside everybody's ego about themselves. Can you imagine the ego of someone who is writing a negative comment about you as if you know who that person is and their opinion matters so much that now that they've done something that doesn't match up 100% with their life experience, they're unsubscribing forever. That's their level of maturity where they know English, but they have the same level of object permanence as a baby, that this person isn't in front of me anymore. You know, so they don't exist. But the other thing that you need to know about that is they're not going to unsub. You can go look at it a couple of weeks later. Usually there'll be the same person sitting there saying negative things. It's not you, it's them. It's their headspace. That's what I find really interesting about YouTube in general, is you can see where people are at. So when you start looking at it from them, you start looking at the fact that they're putting all this vitriol in it, because if you are a normally adjusted person and you see a video that you don't like, what do? You click off in 3 seconds, writing this passionate essay about how much they hate that. They obviously have a terrible life. They're obviously losers. Normal, functioning people, first off, are too busy to be on YouTube in the first place. So that's pretty damning on anybody who's watching this. You better just like and subscribe to absolve yourself of any of the sins of your life sucking. That's the only way you're going to do it, I'm sorry. What a snake oil salesman response. Here's what'll cure what ails you. Make my algorithm even better. Yeah. But I think that the main thing to take away from all of it is that anything that they write improves your life. If you look at it this way, it really is. Anything that they write improves your life unless you get suckered into it, then it denigrates your life. But you don't have to get suckered into it, and it's really simple. You just short-circuit it and get on with your day and have a good day. But the fact that they've done that, they've already lost. Because if they're there, it's just the fact that they're on the computer all day. The fact that they're on the computer, clinical studies into this, the longer you spend on a computer, the more depressed you will be, because you are having no experiences with other human beings, no serotonin is being released, it's just dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. You eventually run out. It's kind of just like an Argentinian bank run every day of your life. And that, obviously, has gotten to the point where they're just seeing these images flicker in front of them like Plato's cave, going, that image sucked, that one was cringe, that one was, that oh my God, why would you do that? You are so embarrassing. I am not embarrassing at all. This fat, pale cunt that sits around all day with really lame, unoriginal language typing, just so you know that you suck. Goblins. Pure goblins. And then I think the big thing to remember, anytime that you ever feel any negative emotion ever, if you ever feel like you're getting tensed up and you feel like you need to win an argument, always remember this: it instantly dissipates an ego. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Does it matter? In fact, let's get away from the is it worth it. Does it matter? Is what you're doing of any significance to your life whatsoever? Because you know one thing that I can guarantee you, after you get over that first 5 minutes of, I should have said that in the argument, that would have pissed him off, when all of that adrenaline runs out of your body, you'll realize, oh yeah, that's right, Stan, Johnny Bravo, you love women so much. You move on with your life. And I think that this is the big thing about maturing, is the older you get, the more you are able to focus on big picture things. What actually matters? What can I spend my time on that is actually going to have an impact, as opposed to bickering your life away online? And just remember that. You responding means they have won. If you don't respond, you have won. Now, it's not to say that I'm perfect. I mean, there's definitely been days in my life where I've sat there arguing with some fat 12-year-old. That has happened more times than I wish to admit. But the days that I feel good about myself, actually, is the days that I read something where I'm just like, oh, you little shit, but I don't respond, and then I think, I had a good day today. You know, it is the cuntiest, most smug thing you can ever say, but it's definitely true, which is that the best form of vengeance is to have a successful life. Now, that's coming from somebody who spends his entire life thinking about how to get revenge on people that wrote cunty articles to me. But I think that when it comes to that level of bitchiness, you're in the pro levels, you know? But you're not in the pro levels, and you shouldn't be focusing on that stuff. Just let me take all the slings and arrows, and trust me, it's not a nice experience to be in. Everybody that works for me is always, they see how much resentment I get, because how pissed off you are with comments. Can you imagine that when it comes to a national newspaper writing shit about you? I gotta respond! Fuck 'em! But honestly, if I did forget, it would be good. But I think that it is good for ratings, and I always want to try and point out that it's the propaganda model. Like, the thing that I want my audience to be most aware of is how bullshit the mainstream press is. That's my biggest white whale in life. And I have many white whales, and that Captain of Moby Dick only had one. Anyway, if you liked that, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks, because I do have a lot of life-changing information. That right there, you follow that for the rest of your life, you will have a much happier life than virtually everyone alive today, except for maybe a few Tibetan monks. But I bet even the Dalai Lama would sit there and go like, what? Tibetan monks ran a feudal system that was worse than medieval Europe? You motherfucker! I still think they would. But obviously they've trained themselves to not be, oh, whoopsie daisy, this is an earthquake there, wasn't there? Yes, I think that honestly, you sign up to Jordan Shanks, you can sign out anytime that you want, but it's such a low investment for such a high return. I honestly think, and I know this is just a fact, the information that is on Jordan Shanks is worth millions of dollars. Now, is it worth millions of dollars tomorrow? No, but it's about becoming the type of person which is, first off, this is the whole goal of this channel, right? First off, this is Friendly Geordie's goal. Friendly Geordie's goal is, these are the societal ills. You can't do much about them. There's things like Switchy Super, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm trying to collect a bunch of people, make memes about elections. I can manage that within my circle of influence. But when it comes to this channel, really what I'm trying to do is to create better individuals. And that's what I think of when I'm saying you can make millions of dollars. It's not making millions of dollars by setting up a hedge fund and gutting companies and firing people. It's doing it in a way that will improve the planet, and along the way it will be a metric as to how well you have impacted the planet. That's the type of person that I'm trying to turn you into. That's who you become if you sign up to Jordan Shanks. I can guarantee it. And hey, it's not a money back guarantee, but it's like you spent $2 on Coke and it made you a shitter person. Fact. Jordan Shanks will not. Sign up today, like and subscribe.